All right, so Coach, you guys had 32 assists. Can you just speak to how your ball movement really led to some good offensive opportunities?
Yeah, I think probably a lot of those came in transition, which sort of started with our defense, and just being able to get stops, get rebounds, more importantly, and then being able to get out and sort of make your 2-on-1 reads early. It kind of leads to easier assists. And then I thought in the half court we did a pretty good job of just continuing our action and not letting that die, and then just making the right reads from there.
And then you guys had 52 points in the paint. Was that sort of a focus going into the game to attack the rim, or was it more so just getting those good opportunities in transition? Like you were
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah, I think the transition certainly helped with that, but some of that's just making the right read, right? Like, are they closing out? We want to attack, put the ball on the floor, and make a play at the rim from there. And some of that is that we made some shots, and so then you get ran off the line. You make a play at the rim, which leads to paint points.
Okay, right. Okay. You before you coached this team, you were working as a development, as a director of player development.
Mm-hmm.
What aspects do you use now as a coach during a game?
Yeah, sure.
During practice.
Yeah, so during games a little bit different. Obviously, just having the role that I'm in now, but I would say the most carryover from a development perspective is what we do pre-practice, and sort of how we set that up. Trying to sort of have some of the carryover that we do in Boston in terms of development, bringing that here to try to get the guys better at making those reads, which allow us to have points in the paint and make the right passes and the right decisions. And so some of that's some carryover there, and then during the game, I'd say it's a little bit of a different role now. But
yeah. But I can imagine that you, as a coach, when you are coaching the Boston Celtics, for example, then it's more about winning. And I think we can see this team more as a development team, and so that makes your coaching maybe a little bit
sure.
different.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Developing and winning goes together more than.
No, I think you nailed it just right there at the end. There is that, like, it does. The goal of development is to develop winning habits and develop winning players and players who can be transferred up and down. And so, this team is certainly has a lot of guys that we're trying to develop. But at the end of the day, if we're doing that right and sort of having the systems in place before practice, during practice, during pregame, hopefully that's attributing to winning basketball.
Yeah. And you are working with Tristan from the Netherlands now. And how do you see him develop since he started as a Celtic?
Yeah, I think he's really grown in two areas to me. One is his defense, and just his ability to be a versatile player, guarding sort of. I think you saw tonight we ended up putting him on point guards.
Yeah.
But there's nights where he guards the fives, and so having a real understanding of who he's guarding and sort of grow in that area. He's been really, really impressive and has gotten better since we saw him in Summer League. And then his second area is his rebounding. I'm not sure what his rebounding numbers were in college, but even tonight he gets 2 offensive rebounds, 5 defensive rebounds, and sort of has attacked that and has been a big time rebounder for us. And so those 2 areas have probably been the biggest areas of growth from him. And then we're going to continue to help him grow his offensive game at this level.
I can imagine that you are working with a shot as well. You have an incredible shooter in your team now, and I see him Tristan taking a few shots, but he wasn't lucky this time. And how do you work with him to be more consistent in his shot?
I think a lot of it starts with confidence and starts with just reps, and sort of, in all these guys, not just Tristan, but all of them, the more reps, the higher quality reps that they get, and the more live looks that they get. Generally, as they're going through that, they start to build their confidence, and so we're trying to help him grow in that area, and he's really taken to it, and we want to continue to grow him in that area.
Okay. Do you want to say something to Tristan or about Tristan for the Dutch people?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I've loved coaching Tristan, even sort of from Summer League. Me and him sort of developed a pretty good relationship, and we bring him up here. He has there's a little bit of a setback during training camp medically, and then he just continues to be an absolute pro. In terms of his preparation, not only on the court but taking care of his body, taking care of the weight room stuff. I know he's sort of talked about this, I think, on a podcast that we do here.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, I heard it.
But his preparation and his ability to be a pro has stood out from the very beginning. And so I've loved coaching him, and I think you've seen him sort of grow, like I said, in defense and in rebounding,
Yeah, for sure.
which are two of the major parts for him as he moves forward,
Yeah.
trying to carve out a niche
Yeah.
at the next level.
Yeah.
And so he's an amazing kid.
Yeah.
We love having him around. He's a great teammate. The players love him, and we'll just continue to grow him.
Yeah. Yeah. He played with the Dutch national team.
Yeah.
What was your thought about that, or to make him?
I love it for him. I think we were excited whenever he got the opportunity to do that. A couple of us stayed back, watched a few of his games, enjoyed watching that team, and just watching him grow. And it's for him to be able to represent his country was a massive point of pride for him.
Yeah.
And so we were ecstatic that he was able to do that. And I hope those opportunities to continue to happen for him throughout the summer or throughout the season. Whenever he gets a chance to go, we would encourage him to do that.
Yeah, hopefully we will succeed in qualifying.
Yeah, I'll be rooting for him and specifically the team, because I hope that happens too.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Can you just speak to Jay's impact off the bench and how he gave you guys some energy tonight?
Yeah, I just thought, obviously with the shot making piece, but I thought he had a couple really high level defensive plays, specifically in playing off the ball in his shifts, making plays, creating havoc, and which led to some of our pain points, which we talked about earlier, and being able to get out in transition. But I just liked how where he was as a leader, and a voice and a calming voice for us, and he just brought really good energy, not just on the court but off the court as well.
And then Baylor tonight, he really exploded in that fourth quarter and hit all those threes.
Mhm.
Before that, he really had a well-rounded impact as
Mhm.
a playmaker and rebounder. Can you just speak to it?
Yeah, and we sort of used him a few different ways defensively, where he was guarding, their fives, and sort of we tried to use him as a switch guy and a guy who could help us with the rebounds. And I thought he just had a high level attention to detail in certain terms of KYP and his personnel and knowing your personnel. And he was obviously he ended up getting hot in the fourth, but even if he didn't, he still had a really impactful game for us with his defense, with his playmaking, and with his ability to sort of understand personnel.
And then yesterday, JD was named to the Rising Stars team. What does that mean for you guys, just to have a player like that recognized?
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's great, but I'm just proud of him. It's been a grind for him. He's been in it for 3 years, and it's sort of an accumulation of all the work that he's put in, and so we're ecstatic for him, really excited for him.
And tonight, he really also had a high-level impact defensively, and he was
Yeah.
in the passing lanes. He got a few steals.
Yeah.
Can you just speak to his defensively?
No, I'm glad you brought that up. I thought it was one of his best defensive games that he's played for us. I thought from the very beginning he set the tone with his ball pressure, picking up full court, turning, and just creating a little bit of havoc. And you saw it, as you said, he sort of got into passing lanes because of that. But I thought just as a point of attack defender, one of the best games he's had as a pro. And I just told him in there, he set the tone for us. He set the tone for us, and then he was able to be a point guard on the other end.
We highlighted DJ Rodman broadcast tonight, last 4 games, 12.5 points, 10 rebounds, shooting over 60% from 3. He comes out, scores the first 8 points for us. What have you seen from him lately, both like on the court in games and at practice, that has kind of led to this surgence he's had?
Yeah, I mean, kind of what we talked about earlier, just growing his confidence, and being able to understand that the stuff that we're doing with him before practice, during pregame, all that stuff is going to add up for him. And I've seen a growth in his confidence when it comes to shooting the ball and putting it on the floor and making the right read every time. And thought that he just, he stands out because he tries to make the right play every single time. If he's open, he shoots. If he's not, he drives it. If his teammate's open, he makes the pass. And we already sort of know what he does defensively and on the glass, but just the willingness and the ability to make the right play every time sort of stands out.